catching up with the one and only Burton C Bell ahead of his big-time Australian tour. Bert, what's happening, man?
Not much, Ned. Just preparing for a tour coming down to Australia next week.
It is so close. And how does it feel returning down under, but this time doing it on your own and without Fear Factory behind you?
It's definitely a new experience. It's a new feeling. It's presenting challenges, but nothing that I can't overcome. But me and my band were very, very excited.
Yeah, and we cannot wait for it. But touring solo hits different, I guess. But what's the biggest adjustment do you think that you've had to make on stage, like performing as Burton C Bell without Fear Factory behind you?
Nothing, because I'm not solo. I still have a band. It's not me by myself on stage. I'm just touring under my own name, so I'm not solo on stage. So I got a band of very talented and awesome dudes, and we all have a great time on stage. So for me, it's like on stage is business as usual, playing some kick-ass tunes.
Yeah, and well, Australia's had a deep connection with you guys throughout the time, Bert. Do you feel it's like the same energy when you're out here as what it is in the States?
Gosh, I hope so. I hope the energy is still the same. Judging from the past, the Australian audience has been very receptive over the years.
Yeah.
We haven't played a lot of cities, but I think we played more cities than most people, most bands have played, especially on our first tour. But we've been down there so often. It's like coming back home for me in some ways. I don't know. It's something about the Australian audience. They're just very receptive to our style of music.
Well, I was going to talk a little bit about Obsolete with you. It still holds its own to this day, Bert. I've said this before, but have you realized how ahead of your time you are for releasing that album? Like if you put that out tomorrow, it would still stand its own against today's music. And, we're talking almost 30 years ago.
When we had no idea. We were just creating what we felt was the right music, the right sound for us at the time. As an artist, you don't think about the future. You just think about the moment that you're creating at that point in time. Everything we were doing, right? The music and the lyrics and just everything, the production. It was probably the zenith of that style of music at that time. It was just very top, and what we created was just, we had no idea what we were doing, honestly.
No, I love that. So there was never a moment where you sort of flicked yourself and said, this is going to be a game changer, this album, or was it just business as usual? You had no idea what you were on?
Yeah, it's just business as usual. Just writing music, creating music, and we had a great time doing it. We had a great time in the studio doing it. So it's, we're just enjoying the moment. And, obviously what we did, the music we were creating, especially during the mix, we're like, wow, this sounds killer. But we weren't thinking like, wow, this is going to change the world.
Well, it did, Bert. It did for a lot of us, man.
Well, it kind of changed my world too as time went by. I mean, we got a gold record out of it, which is incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. And like a little bit of a tidbit there about the album is Madchild actually helped, rapper Madchild helped write, I think it was, on Edge Crusher. Is that right?
Madchild and we collaborated a little bit on a little bit on lyrics, a little bit on delivery. As you know, Madchild's a member of Swollen Members, where he used to be. So that was a cool time. I remember he was just smoking a lot of weed, and we were just sitting there writing some fucking music or writing some lyrics, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that little bit of trivia right there. If you could go back to those days, Bert, of Obsolete and whisper to yourself something in the ear to tell your current self, what do you think that'd be?
Oh my gosh, that's a question. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I would tell myself back then. All I know is we were having a good time, and I have very fond memories of those moments. It's probably one of the best recording sessions and most memorable recording sessions I ever had. But I don't know. I know what it is. The first time auto-tune ever came to existence was around that time period.
Oh, there you go.
And they were messing with it a little bit, but I don't think we ever used it on that record because it sounded too fake. But what happened a few months later, Cher comes out with her that single, I Believe in Love After Love or whatever it is, and it's all auto-tune. And it's like, because of that weird production with the auto tune, just like it, that just steamrolled the whole. It's just snowballed into a whole new like type of production technique. So like, well, we should have played with that more.
Yeah, you throw back to that then, and you might have been the first people to do it in front of Cher. I like it, man.
Well, we'll let Cher have her spotlight.
So we are talking a little bit of Obsolete here, and that's the best thing. Like you said earlier, like you're coming out, you've got a whole new band, and we're going to be hearing like the whole Fear Factory back catalog as well as your solo material. Yeah, Bert.
Well, it's, as I said, is the solo material, but it's not all about Fear Factory, because I've been in various bands. Fear Factory, Essential to Watch, City of Fire, and GZR. So I'm playing songs from my entire catalog, not just Fear Factory. So I'm picking songs from each project to perform for the Australian audience.
Yeah, that sounds like absolute gold there.
Plus, I have new songs that I'm going to be playing as well. So it's, I want to show that I'm not trying to be like a cover band. I'm not trying to be FF 2.0. I'm moving forward, presenting songs that fans might not have heard from my other projects.
Yeah, oh, that is awesome right there. And if, speaking of your new material, if the song Savages is anything to go for, we're in for an absolute treat as you keep dropping songs there, but no signs of slowing down at all.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we're working on new songs as we're speaking right now. My mantra for my new path is heavy, groovy, dark, and moody. And if it fits that criteria, it'll speak to me. And the songs that I'm writing with my new band, it all fits that. And it does. It's not groovy's not necessarily slow. Groovy can be up tempo as well. So we're just moving along and just creating music that just fits a concept rather than a genre.
Yeah, oh, I love that right there, man, and very much excited for it. Excited that Australia pretty much gets the first taste of seeing Burton C live, like with your band. Like you've played a couple of shows in the States, though. Was that received well?
The last show we did was really good. We opened up for God Forbid at the Region in Los Angeles, and that was a great turnout.
Nice.
And that was the best show we had out of the three. The more we play as a band, the better we get together, and we lock in, and we're just getting to know each other, and it's been great. You know, it took me a couple years to really curate this band, because not only did I have to want to find like great musicians and talented musicians, but also people I could get along with at the same time.
Yeah, no, we're very much looking forward to it, Bert. And just switching things up on your Instagram page, it's got a great clip from you back from when you were 24 years old and you're on the skateboard there and you ended up on a movie called Hail Caesar. You've got some bizarre things like that pop up in throughout your career. Can you tell us about that?
I'm like Forrest Gump of metal.
Yeah.
I don't know how that just happened. Just like, that was like one of the most random things ever, because I used to skateboard up and down Hollywood Boulevard all the time.
Yeah.
Not because I was wanting to skate, because my skateboard was my main mode of transportation. So I would take it, I was either going to a friend's house at the opposite end of Hollywood Boulevard, or I was riding my skateboard to a bus stop that was further away. I would take Hollywood Boulevard because the sidewalks are all marble and they're very smooth, and it's so it was easy to navigate through the curves. You didn't have to ollie off and onto a curb. All you had to do was go down the ramp and up the ramp. But as I was coming up to this one point, if you're driving around LA or walking around LA, you'll always at one point in time or another see some type of film crew in action. Yeah. And used to see this all the time on Hollywood Boulevard. This one morning was no different, as I was going to a friend's house, and I was skating, and so I was skating trying to get around it. I had to go onto the street to skate around it, and so I remember seeing this, and I remember going up the sidewalk, and I remember this guy handing me a flyer. I didn't see any cameras. I just saw some wires. I saw a truck a little bit down the street, but I didn't see any like cameras. I wasn't really thinking about it. And you always see people handing out flyers, but at least back then on Hollywood Boulevard. And I remember this one guy coming up toward me, wanted to hand me a flyer, and I was reaching out, and he just like totally dissed me. I'm like, whatever, dude. And
Then it winds up on a movie. See, you one-offed me. I wouldn't have even taken the flyers, so it shows that you're a good dude.
Well, I mean, you never know. Sometimes you got to keep your opportunities open, and maybe you see something interesting, and it's like, oh, I'll take a flyer and see what it's all about. And if you don't like it, just toss it.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
true.
it's like smiling. It's easy to take a flyer.
Yeah, very, very true. I love that, Bert. And you popped up on heaps of things because you were in the Smells Like Teen Spirit video as well, yeah?
Yeah, that was never knew that would become such a huge thing. Everyone who went to the video shoot was in the video, which is because I was the night or 2 nights before they did the video shoot. They did a show at the Roxy, and they just flew out flyers, come to our video shoot. It was before, obviously, Nevermind came out. And I already knew the entire record back to back because a friend of mine that I used to work with, the place I used to work at, a friend of mine was a musician there. And he happened to have played cello on the song Something in the Way. So he was given an advanced copy of the record like months before the album even came out. So being a Nirvana fan already, because I was a huge Bleach fan, we were just blasting that record every day. So whenever they played, we all went. So it was killer. So it's weird. It's just like opportunities arise. You just got to keep your mind open, keep the blinders off, and just go with it.
Yeah, that is amazing. Like, it makes me think like there's got to be a million stories that you could tell, but you need to do some sort of spoken word tour where you could just let loose with a bunch of these stories. Is there anything else like crazy like that stands out to you that's happened throughout your career?
God, I mean, there's a few things. That wasn't even in my career, honestly. That was before my career.
Well, there you go.
A lot of weird things have happened in my life throughout my entire life. But yeah, dude, I got stories, and I've been writing them all down. So I'll be searching for a publisher soon to put out
cool.
It's not really a memoir. I don't know what it is. It's just random stories I'm telling.
Oh, I definitely want to look
I
out
got a lot
for
of stories.
Love that. And I've got to ask, do you still skate, Bert?
Oh God, no. God, no. It frightens me.
Yeah, me too. I used to skate. I haven't in a long time.
Skateboard, but no, I'm too old to skateboard. You fall down my age, recovery time takes much longer.
Oh man. Well, what's your message to people that are on the fence, Bert, about coming out to see you live next week? What's your message to those?
Well, why are you on the fence to begin with?
Exactly.
I can understand why people don't want to go out. I mean, things are expensive these days all over the place. But I'm an independent artist. I'm coming down there on my own dime, so I'm not supported or funded by any type of label. I'm coming out. I'm going to be playing songs that you may never have heard before. I'm going to be playing a few songs you have heard before. But it's going to be. I have a solid band. We kick ass, and it sounds immense. And we're gonna give you a good show. I just urge you to please come see the show because it's very important to us. We're coming down. This is for me a make or break moment.
It's going to be absolutely phenomenal, Bert, and we are so psyched to have you here. You can grab your tickets through burtoncbell.com. Be sure to check this man out, playing at the Triffid next Wednesday, June 11, in King Street on the 12th, the Factory Theatre on the 13th, and wrapping things up at the Corner Hotel in Melbourne on the 14th. Burton C. Bell, thank you so much for taking time out to chat with me.
Dude, thank you, Ned. It's awesome to talk to you as always. And it's always great to see a familiar face, Ned.